What is up, Nutsacks? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for it. This time it's going to be in the NFL for Thursday, November the 4th. Game is going to be played between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. Current betting spread is Colts minus 10.5, total 46. I'd actually mark this as the second Thursday night game in a row where we were super live to cash late and just could not. 2 weeks ago, Phillies team, or actually 3 weeks ago, Phillies team total over 22.5 versus Tampa, landing right on 22, with Philly covering the actual spread. And last week, of course, losing the over 51 with that end zone interception by Kyler Murray. Look, we did win 4 straight weeks with these Thursday night vids before these plays, so I'm all for the occasional wound. But would love to start getting home more of these coin flip type games. I'd even argue late in that game, especially with the Green Bay touchdown that got called back. The over had a high percentage to hit, in that fourth quarter. But though such is the NFL, right? We all have these stories. All we can do is move on. As I'm sure you can tell, this kind of looks like my witness protection look. Some of you may also think this is me trying to be like Elton John. But you actually couldn't be more mistaken. When you have a few bad calls on these public videos, you kind of need to go into hiding. Call this my hide from the trolls look. Some of these public videos just have not been great recently, and I've been forced into hibernation, kind of like a bear in the winter. Speaking of shitting, my bowel movements have also kind of taken a turn for the worst. I've added more fiber into my diet the last few weeks. Supposedly, my doctor says I need to. So I've been, the real reason was I was a bit backed up, right? So, and wow, what a difference, though. Food goes right through my system now, like a hot knife through butter. You ever shit 4 times a day for 5 straight days? Yeah, me either. Not to get too graphic, but I actually have bruises on my ankles from squeezing them so tight while shitting. All right, but that's enough about me. Or maybe if you want to hear more about it, just ask in the comments. I'm happy to. I'm an open book. Nothing to hide here as I sit here in protective, glasses and a hood on. On to this past week. The Bengals got caught with their pants down. Rams offense continues to hum along. Lions are who we thought they were, or I hope you thought they were. I don't know why people continue to think this team is prepared to win football games. Baker Mayfield continues to cap the Browns' potential. Patriots are kind of just waking up. Titans win over the Colts, bittersweet with the Derrick Henry news. Saints still have Brady's number. Dallas is so good they can win road games without Dak. KC picks up a much-needed win, but once again wasn't pretty. It was a week of backups, right? Mike White looks great in the upset win for the Jets. Trevor Siemian for the Saints. Fills in admirably for Jameis. And Cooper Rush leads the Cowboys back for a road win versus the Vikings. Speaking of Mike White, and I'll have more on him in a bit, he really helped out survivor pools. A few points I need to bring up. The Browns need to tell Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham to retire. They're both complete piles of dust. And speaking of dust, Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins, they need to go from Minnesota, as I'm sure you can tell. Kind of a Minnesota fan. I hope Zimmer and Kirk Cousins, suck each other off in a different franchise. We as Vikings fans will be very happy to see both of you wearing different colors in the future. There's too much talent on this Vikings team to be performing this poorly. And last but not least, I can't help but not mention Mike White has a fat cock. Okay, in case you're wondering how I know this, all I did was watch the Bengals game. Dude looked legit, and I'm sure if you watch back the tape, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But look, let's talk more on this game. Now, I looked at this from various angles. My favorite look, believe it or not, is actually Colts first half minus 6.5. The Colts enter this game off a brutal loss, right? And the Titans losing Henry does leave the door ajar a bit for the Colts. But that was a game they just had to win, and they had multiple opportunities too. By the way, that Wentz interception at the goal line in the fourth quarter was nothing short of head-scratching. It may have been the worst play all season out of any team, especially when you add in the fact that the situation of the game. Wentz played really well in that game, only to throw 2 interceptions late in the fourth, and one in overtime, both which ultimately resulted in them losing the game. The Colts are now a bunch of games back if you include the Tennessee tiebreakers, but they're not totally dead. Henry being out certainly will hurt the Titans moving forward, but can the Colts take advantage at all? I'll tell you what, it'll start with a comfortable win versus an inferior team in the Jets. In my opinion, this Colts team has no reason to cry over spilled milk. Yes, they are 3-5, but they very easily could be 6-2. The Rams, Colts, and Titans, this last recent Titans game, were all very winnable, and the Ravens loss being by far the worst of the bunch. I think they were up, 17 in the fourth quarter. The Colts still The Colts also still have the Jets on their schedule, obviously, here for Thursday. The Texans and the Jaguars twice. So they have some favorableness to their schedule moving forward. I also know when the Colts have played inferior competition this year, they've dominated from the jump. The Dolphins, Texans, and I'd argue even the 49ers when Jimmy Garoppolo came back. Three quarterbacks who just struggle to move the chains and through the air anyway. And the Colts simply just don't allow teams to dink and dunk them for first downs. Mike White had a tremendous game. I mean, when you look at the box score, it's like, wow, this dude was incredible. But the Bengals really made no adjustments to the Jets dinking and dunking all game underneath. I saw this stat. I almost couldn't believe it. Mike White didn't throw one pass that was 15 yards in the air. And look, I expect this recipe of short passes to continue for the Jets, but the Jets' O-line isn't good, and hence why Mike White's getting the ball out quickly. I expect plenty of bump and run at the line of scrimmage from the Colts corners, and the Colts also bring pressure Mike White's way. Cincinnati did not get pressure on him whatsoever, which was surprising. Not that Cincinnati's got this amazing pass rush, but you just figured they would have made some adjustments. They didn't all game long. Call it a hangover win from them, into that Jets game, but it was just a strange game to watch. Now, look, White may be able to build off his recent game, but the Colts are going to likely dare him to throw downfield. And look, White's got a passing pedigree from Western Kentucky and those offenses that love to move the ball downfield in college, but he's still raw as it relates to the NFL. And I just expect this offense to really struggle, while the Colts should be able to do whatever they want offensively. I know T.Y. Hilton's going to be out, and Wentz has had plenty of bad moments this year, but he's also had plenty of good, and I'd expect the Colts to come out strong here and push the young White into tough situations often on their side of the ball. The Colts have also been a much better first-half team than second-half team, and a 7-point halftime lead is really not that much of a big ask. His numbers come down a bit with this recent Mike White love. I think this line was supposed to be about 14.5, and now it's 10.5. So either they're saying that maybe Mike White is better than Zach Wilson or even to Zach Wilson. I don't know. It just feels like a complete overreaction. And I'm not sure it's entirely warranted. There's been a lot of recent dogs covering in these primetime games, but again, I just have this as an overreaction. The Colts should be past 7 here for a first half and probably past 13 for the full game. So I'm happy to grab it under a touchdown for the first half. Look, if Mike White continues his success with short passes and yards after catch, or YAC as the cool kids say, then so be it. But look, give me the much more talented and hungrier team on a short week at home. The Jets' lack of pass rush and inability to force many turnovers is just what a guy like Carson Wentz needs, who seems to black out from time to time during games and do really weird things in a negative fashion. But I expect him to get back on track. Also, Jonathan Taylor continues to run the ball really well between the tackles. I'd expect a healthy dose of him. It felt like they went away from him at times in that Titans game, and I don't understand why. He's been really good. And look, I've been very critical of Taylor in his first, now second year in the NFL, but he is a streaky running back, and when he's running well, man, everything seems to be clicking. So, I think they'll go back to him heavy and leverage Wentz into a lot of third and shorts, which he should be able to convert. So look, give me the favorite here in the first half to avoid a backdoor meltdown from the Colts. So again, Colts minus 6.5. Got this minus 110 at FanDuel in New Jersey. May the odds be ever in our favor. Want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope you wake up with someone else's nuts in your mouth. As always, drop comments below your thoughts on the play. Also, let me know who you like for Thursday Night Football. Be sure to drop a comment either way, because no one, and I mean no one, likes a silent stalker. As always, we'll do the pick 4 games for NFL. You go 4-0, I will get you a shirt. So just feel free to drop your comments there as well for that, and I will keep an eye on it. We have a fun-filled weekend incoming of content, so be sure to soak it all in. More NFL content, college football, UFC, and Joey Work just capped off a really good baseball season in general. So you'll have NASCAR as well. And look, college basketball is starting up soon. You have NBA content from us. Just a lot of content on this channel, so be sure to subscribe if you're not already. I'll be back with a college football video for Friday, so be sure to check that out as well. But until then, be sure to gamble responsibly, stay safe, folks, and run pure.